lock back that time. Hey guys, what's up? We are back again, and this time I'm hoping we fixed this system. Basically what we did is we put an extended firing pin in the CMMG Radial delayed bolt carrier group, or in the bolt, not the group. Anyway, an extended firing pin. It protrudes just a little bit more, and I'm really hoping that's going to fix our issue, so that now hopefully this will be a direct blowback or a radially delayed blowback upper on the cheap. Another option for you is this guy right here. This is from Broad River Tactical. He sent this out for us to play with and use. Sorry, I got something in my eyeball. For us to use. This is his 300 blackout barrel. That is basically, it's 300 blackout, but it's profiled to their 9mm SD barrels, right? So it's reprofiled, same profile, so you can use a 300 blackout. You could use a 300 blackout suppressor, but you can use your 9mm suppressors. Right now, it has his adapter in here for his SD adapters, but you could also use a standard 9mm like MP5 SD suppressor, right? From like high tech, right? Which is what we got. So anyway, we're going to play around with this. This is something that should just work because this came from him. I've seen it tested by other people. It should just work. I'm curious before we do that to see if this extended firing pin fixes the issues that we had in our system, but let's just see. All right. That was a super long intro, but let's get into it. So here we go. We got subs just because want to see, and I'm just gonna shoot. Here we go. Well, it went boom. Okay, well, it's going boom. Wasn't doing that last time. You are getting some high pressure, it looks like. Maybe it's unlocking too fast, but that's your not firing pin, your primer punched out just a little bit. All right, but that's working, and that's with the Nomad 30, Nomad L. All right. That seemed to fix the problem. Makes sense. Makes sense. Sometimes you just got to take a step back, consider what the problem is. And if the problem was that we were getting really light, no, not really light, solid light, quote unquote, primer strikes, it just wasn't quite enough. That might have been the issue, and seems like that was the issue. All right, let's swap things out. Look at this other brass. Are they all doing that? Yeah, I think they're all a little bit overpressured. Not overpressured. I think it's unlocking too fast, I think is what the issue is. So let's swap this out on his upper and see if that makes any difference. All right, so for those that don't know, basically this is a standard upper, right? A mil-spec, well, yeah, it's mil-spec. It has no forward assist, whatever. But standard mil-spec upper receiver. This is his handguard. I think this is his newer. He's had it for a little while, I think. The sleeve that goes over here, the traditional SD looking one, I have one of those. He sent me one a while back ago. Looks exactly like an MP5 SD handguard sleeve would look, right? This one just looks a little bit more A2-ish, if that makes sense, right? And then, like I said earlier, this has his barrel. This is a 300 blackout barrel, reprofiled to his 9mm SD profile, so that you can run his adapter or any, there's no mil spec on it, but any MP5 SD suppressor that is true to spec MP5 SD. Whatever that means, hopefully that makes sense. And this runs off of a CMMG radially delayed bolt carrier group. So this looks kind of like a standard mil-spec bolt carrier group. It's not. This is the radial delayed one. So anyway, hopefully that came out right. Let us see. All right. So this is the first time shooting this one. Hopefully it runs better than mine. Hopefully we don't have any issues. Oh. Pick up your trash. Don't litter. Pity sakes. Come out of these public places. People trash these places up. Don't do that. All right, here we go. Okay, that sounded quieter, but that did not cycle. He's getting slightly overpressured primers as well. What's up with that? It's quieter, but it would be because there's no port pop because it's not ejecting. Interesting. Yep. Well, now that is peculiar. And this is the only subsonic ammo that I have. That's really quiet, but this is the only subsonic ammo that I have. And he says do not run, or you shouldn't run, supers. Maybe I should run supers. I don't know. This is not, I do not believe this is my upper I get to keep. So I don't want to break his stuff and send it back. Because he's worried about the upper, just that reprofile barrel with supers. He's worried about that. That doesn't make any sense. Why is this not running? See all the videos of them running it? You know, I think I have the lightest weight tuning kit. Yeah. That shouldn't make a difference, guys. That really shouldn't make a difference. I have a pretty light buffer in here. I do have, it's the lightest weight one they got, the action tuning kit on this bulk carrier group. Let me pull this thing out real quick. All right, so that was this guy. If you don't know, they have different weights, action tuning kits. This just adds weight to the back of your bulk carrier group, specifically for these radio delayed systems, just to tune your action a little bit. It can help sometimes. Maybe this was causing the issue, so let's swap that in, see what happens. No. Well, that doesn't make any sense under the sun. That doesn't make any sense why that is. That's not unlocking at all. That's straight up. That doesn't make any sense at all. Let's throw my system back in there and see if that makes any difference. So we got 3 rounds. These are subsonics again. We took out that weight. Let's see if that does anything. Well, now she ain't unlocking for me either. That doesn't make any lick of sense at all. Well, now we go. Okay, that was fine. I don't get it. All right, let's break it. Let's put, this is mine, not his system. Let's put some supers in mine and see what that does. All right, for the sake of just trying to break everything, I'm gonna do super, sub, super, sub. 3 supers, 2 subs, super, sub, super, sub. That's what we're gonna try to do. All right, let's see, so super. That's fine. All right, it's really throwing those supers, but it was running them. Subs just trickled out. I'm gonna put back in that weight. That doesn't make any sense. Why doesn't his work? That doesn't make no sense at all. All right, let's try his system again one more time. All right, and I don't want to waste all my subsonic. That stuff ain't cheap. 3 rounds of subsonic, and if you're wondering, this is S&B 180, 200 grain, 200 grain, S&B 200 grain subsonic stuff. Let's see, 3 rounds, that's all we're gonna do, unless it cycles more, then we'll shoot it more. Nope, this is not unlocking at all. This is not even trying to unlock. I don't get that. And we are getting that slight over, not slight, that's a pushed out primer. I mean, it's definitely quieter, but it would be because you're basically running this like a bolt action. Yeah, definitely quieter, but bolt action mode, I don't get it. I need to talk to Chris. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I'm going to shoot my upper just a little bit more and see. You can just play around with that a little bit. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't know what's going on here. So recording. All right, so here we go. I added, now it's not going to want a seat. That was weird. That's really weird. Okay, hopefully we don't have issues with that. That was really strange. Anyway, I added a little bit of some oil. oil to my suppressor, just maybe to make it a little quieter, just a couple squirts in there, some lubrications. I think we got 5 supers and then some subs. I added the weight back in here, so this is my system, not Broad River Tacticals. Let's see if mine blows up or does anything weird with supers, and then some subs. Ooh. Yeah, that extra stuff makes it really spicy on the eyeballs. Oh, are we gonna do it now? Interesting. Could be we already were having trouble with that magazine. This is not a 300 blackout magazine. Don't know if that makes any difference. There we go. Okay, so with subs, except for that one little hiccup there at the beginning, it was fine. With supers, it even ran fine. It's punchy with supers. That's the lightest weight that I have for this system. Oh, you know what I have? I have a really heavy buffer. Okay, I've got a heavier, but this has got a lightweight spring. I think it's a yellow Sprinko spring and a buffer with all the weights removed to make this thing run right. I'm gonna put in some heavy buffers and stuff and see if that makes any difference. That could smooth everything out substantially for supers. Yeah, let me try that real quick. Okay, here we go. See, that seated fine. That's a 300 blackout magazine. We have a blue Sprinko spring and I think a H3 buffer, heavy buffer. I believe it's what it is. Okay. Sharp, like an overgassed. Yeah, definitely overgassed still, but there's no gas system, so can't really be overgassed. Man, I really wish I had. Yeah, no, that's all we got. Nope, do that to me now. Almost. Okay. No, I still have a couple in there. Okay. Yeah, so with that heavier spring, I am not getting bolt lock on subs. On supers, I'm sure I'd be fine. But it was firing them. Anyway, interesting concept, interesting thing. This is not even a review of this. This is really just kind of talking about it and showing you proof of concept. Again, it does work. I need to talk to Chris about his upper and see what in the world would cause his upper not to unlock. All the videos and stuff that I've seen of people using his, it works. It works fine. And it's the same bolt. I'm swapping my bolt carrier group. Same thing. So I don't know why it's working in mine, not working in his. I don't understand that quite right now, but I'm going to figure that out. We're gonna work through this thing. So anyway, guys, what's your thoughts? I think we've already asked that before, but I'm just gonna throw it out there again because sometimes people change their minds and stuff. What's your thoughts on radio delayed 300 blackout? Waste of time, gimmick, or does it actually have a purpose and use, especially if it runs right? I don't know. Let's go talk about it in the comments. Let's go see what we think.